When it comes to yellow perch on ice or open water, bait like worms, grubs, minnows, and leeches are usually the best bet for success. But at other times, these striped bandits want the speed and the action of an artificial bait. Go! All right. Well, would you look at that? You know, when the open water season is upon us, lots of times it's time to go artificial. And if you want to catch perch, go small, but make sure you try some soft plastics like this little jig I have, this fantail jig. That's a nice little perch. We'll just throw him in as a possibility for the frying pan tonight. I'm going to talk to you about how best to go baitless with artificials to catch perch like this and bigger. Perch are quick strikers. Thing when you're using artificials, you gotta be really on the ball and set the hook quick. What he did to the jig, the rubber tail. Let's try to see if we can actually slide that up and hook him this time. The thing about perch in the spring is that as they're in spawn or just finishing the spawn, they're really starting to get hungry because they don't always feed during the spawn. When they're coming out of it, they're getting pretty aggressive, they're getting pretty hungry. So you just scooch something small like that 1/64 ounce jig along the bottom. Light line, oh I got 4 pound test on here, 2 is even better if you can manage it. And tighten it up and just sort of slowly twitch it along the bottom and wait for that bump to come. So they say they're grubbing along the bottom, they're looking for smaller minnows and different things like that. And you know, this is a pattern that a lot of people don't think about, but you can do this all summer because those perch are constantly grazing, just like little cattle down there. People tell me depth, you know, like anything, if the weeds haven't grown up yet, you can fish as shallow as 1 to 2 feet of water. And if the weeds have grown up and they're hard to navigate, then just get to the outside edge of those weeds in like 3, 4, maybe even 6 feet of water. Guys, it's all on the plastic, that's for sure. This guy, we'll let him grow up a little bit before we keep him. I'll just toss him back. That's what we're using today, folks. That is a 1/64 ounce jig with a rubber tail on it, and the rubber I've caught, oh gee, I guess I must be up to about a dozen now, and it's certainly getting a little beat up from what it was originally. But tell you what, this artificial's really working today. The beauty of the artificial bait is, yeah, you have to adjust the rubber tail, but you know you're not losing bait. You know they're not going to pick your bait off, which is always a nice part about it. But what's really critical is how you move it. You let it sink, and that's the beauty of a lighter bait like this, is it falls slow, and the perch like that. So you let it fall slow, keep your line tight, and I'm using 4 pound test and a shorter, very light rod here, just totally designed for this task. And I'm reeling down, keeping the line tight.
And I'm just twitching it back, twitching it back. I try not to twitch it any higher than that, because if my rod is any higher than that, I'm not going to get a good hook set. And the other thing is, if you feel that bump, you've got to set the hook fast, because if you don't, they inhale and spit that bait faster than lightning.
Oh, there's one. Oh, this feels like a gooder. Oh, she came right up under the boat. Oh my goodness. Ah. We knew there were some bigger ones in here. Look at that beauty. We got a few now, and that's going to be a beauty addition to our meal tonight. So just make sure, you know, if you have perch in your lake, that you grab the smallest jigs you got with some little rubber tails, and you're going to have success just like this.